Good evening and welcome to 7 Sports' big replay of the preliminary final played today at Football Park between Port Adelaide and Glenelg. Port Adelaide, the minor premier. Glenelg, of course, had finished fourth at the end of the minor round, had won against Central Districts and also against Sturt in the elimination and first semi-finals. Port Adelaide last week were beaten for the first time since 1978 in a finals game when they went under by 19 points to Norwood in what was a great game. A big crowd today despite the conditions, and it rained all the way through the reserves match. 32,399. That's certainly a great crowd for today's preliminary final. The changes for Port Adelaide: Kim Kinnear did play, as we suggested on the news during the week. Graham Robertson came into the side. Chris Natt ran out with a 21 that went onto the field but ran down the race shortly after. And Granger and Craig Ebert, that's David Granger and Craig Ebert, sat on the interchange bench. For Glenelg today, Herco dropped out of the 21, so the only change from the side that had beaten Sturt last week, McFarlane had replaced Hine. McFarlane had been injured against the Double Blues, and Hine, of course, he played that day on the wing and was injured and came off during that particular game. So McFarlane coming in for Hine. Now, during this year, Glenelg had won the night premiership, but in the home and away games, Port had a big advantage. They'd drawn at Football Park earlier in the year, but then Port had won by 9 goals at Alberton and by 7 goals at Football Park in the last of the minor round games. So Port went in with a pretty big advantage. Brian Cunningham won the toss. They'd played 14 finals. Port had won 10. Glenelg had won 4. Glenelg hadn't beaten Port in a final series since 1974, and the Magpies had won in their last 6 finals encounter. Now, at quarter time, Port led 4-3 to 2-3, but Glenelg cut loose in the second term. They led by 10 goals, 6 to 4-4 late in the second quarter. Then Huppert's got a goal, Evans got a goal, and Port were within 26 points at half-time. 10-6 to 6-4, that's where we pick up the game, the beginning of the third quarter. And with me in the commentary position, as always, Robert Oatey. Start of the second half, 10-6 to 6-4. Craig Ebert on for Port Adelaide. Anthony Williams on the interchange bench. Sewer to Painter. Had a big first half. He's now in short sleeve Guernsey. Robertson against Lunnis. Lunnis fell over. Robertson plays it to the boundary line, allows it to go out of bounds. The Bays led 10-6 to 4-4 at one stage. Port kicked the last 2 goals of the second term. One through Huppert's and one through Evans. It's Kernahan and Johnston. Johnson over the top. Hoffner, light rain continuing to fall. Cunningham, Lunnis again a ball in.
As Ebert's playing on, it's Craig Ebert's playing on the wing now on Marshall. And in the forward pocket, Paul Belton's moved up into the pocket with Huppert's playing on the half-forward flank.
Kernahan in the front spot. Cunningham had an airy. Lunnis with a handball which missed Duthie. Kinnear. High kick. Getting underneath it, Carey. Well, Granger interfering with him badly there. Corns coming in. Des Foster speaking to David Granger, who we believe has been reported. Carey's handball to McGuinness. McGuinness over the top. It sits for Marshall to McGuinness. McGuinness at centre-half forward can have a shot for goal. It's a long one. Not accurate. McInerney diving with Eckerman are behind 10-7 to 6-4.
McGuinness has got great pace as he came through the centre there. I'm not sure that too much happened to Peter Carey. I think the performance was worse than the actual action that occurred. And Hughes kicking into the centre square, covering 60 to 70 metres. Off hands to Hoffner. Hoffner half back for Port Adelaide. Towards Granger. Granger's taking the chest mark. David Granger, aggressive Port Adelaide player. High in the air towards Evans. It's a magnificent kick. Evans from behind, off hands, scouting on there. Belton for a goal. Port Adelaide 7-4, Glenelg 10-7.
Just the start Port Adelaide wanted. They moved the ball in quickly. Hoffner's kick, Granger's mark. Granger with a long one. Belton off hands. With Evans sandwiched between Frost and Barrett. Belton playing the roving role, has been shifted into the pocket. And Port Adelaide are back within 3-3 after being 6-2 down at one stage.
It'll be Russell Johnston and Peter Carey. Johnston from the back. It's a nothing knock. Cunningham. That ascendancy that Granger can give Port Adelaide at centre-half's important. Cunningham throws it out quickly, but as Painter gets it to Holst, and Holst goes into full forward to Kernahan. Hughes in front now, playing a little bit tighter than he was early. He still can't take possession of the ball. Eckerman trying to keep it under control. Ebert gives it to Phillips. And Port Adelaide are clear from defence. Phillips on his left foot. Bradley. plays on quickly. Well done, McGuinness. Tackled. Cunningham gets the ball as it flies clear. He goes towards Belton and Barrett, and it's Barrett, 6'3", Belton about 5'8". And the big fellow, a permanent back pocket player, takes the relieving mark.
Short to Carey. Super fell over but took the mark. Handball back to Barrett. Barrett to Holst. Well, Granger and Barrett behind the play. Holst to Corns. Granger tries to run him down. Corns with a drop punt. Roberts in the front spot. Splendid mark. Quickly plays on. Duthie and Kinnear and Bradley skidding towards the boundary line. Duthie kept it in. Mightn't have been the best thing to do. Still playing it in front of him. Hoffner in hot pursuit. Oh, Duthie with one off the ground that he missed it. Robertson over the top with a handball to Kinnear. He laid it on to Bradley. Bradley with a screw punt. Barrett almost a good one. Happett's read it well, then threw it almost to Granger. Granger broke McFarlane's tackle, then put up the elbow and collected Maynard. And Maynard will take a free kick.
I think John Cahill's put Craig Bradley to do that running across the centre of the ground that he's had Belton doing even in previous games. Phillips pushing the ball clear of Weston. Weston knocking it on to Carey. Carey takes possession. He's tackled. Set upon by a multitude of players. There'll be a bounce down at half forward for Port Adelaide. Carey. Big ruckman. Harris knocking it forward. Kicked away then by Painter only as far as Kim Kinnear.
Kinnear getting some touches. Short to Ebert in the centre. Eighth kick to Ebert. A long screw punt. Evans and Frost. Frost thumped it away. Happett's read it beautifully. Frost tries to run him down. Happett's will get a free kick.
They're going to pay that all the time, Bruce? Not on your life. Port Adelaide won a controversial game here against Glenelg early in the season with a free kick given for holding the ball. And on the replay, no one ever could see how it was given holding the ball. But nevertheless, it was. And here again, Port Adelaide receiving a valuable free kick in front of goal. And how important this is for Port Adelaide.
Happett's has kicked one so far today. This is his 10th kick. Drop punt has gone straight through. It's 8-4 to 10-7. And Port Adelaide within 15 points. Kernahan and Johnston. Johnston got the best of it. Williams over the top of it with Kernahan. The status quo. So 21 minutes gone in this quarter. Port have kicked 3 goals without a miss, and the Bays have kicked 1-2. 3 scoring shots each. Craig Ebert falling over and gets a free kick. Craig Ebert coming on at half-time. Younger brother of Russell. High drop punt. Evans with a run. Coming in McFarlane. Maynard could have used Corns, decided not to, hook the back. Sewer and Giles. Sewer did that cleverly. He's given Holst a chance. It sits for him now. Granger got rid of Sewer behind the play. Holst towards centre half forward. Eckerman did it brilliantly. Sewer still prostrate on the ground. Ebert across to Hoffner. Hoffner in the centre. Long drop punt. Frost in the front this time. Here's a chance for Happett's. Happett's has kicked the goal. It's 10-4 to 11-8, and Happett's has got 3 goals for the Magpies.
There was a bit of rebound there by Port Adelaide. Ralph Sewer lying on the ground. He lifted up his head at first, and then continued to lie down on the ground. And in the meantime, Port Adelaide rebounded beautifully from half-back through Hoffner, and Hoffner kicked the ball to centre half forward. Ball taken by Happett's. John Cahill trying to come out of the grandstand. A lot of the Glenelg supporters quite irate. One of the tragedies of coaches having to go through the crowd. Duthie kicking the ball forward. Painter, Holst, running on McGuinness. It's a long kick by McGuinness. But out of bounds, not quite out of bounds on the full, just lobbing in front of the boundary line.
Woman supporter for Glenelg jostled John Cahill. She's been spoken to by the police high in the stand, just in front of our broadcasting box. So it's Carey and Johnston. No league coach should have to put up with that. Ebert fell over. Sewer tackled him. McGuinness broke through 2 tackles, holding the ball.
Yes. Peter McInerney was in a position to receive the handball then on the up from Tony McGuinness. He didn't give it, chose to evade and use his pace, unable to do so. Now Cunningham gets clear, goes to half forward, and Kernahan making position in the back play, across half back, takes the mark. Kernahan to centre half forward to a lead from Western. Hoffner holding ground, well done. Peter Hoffner for Port Adelaide, cross to Phillips. Port Adelaide starting to move now. Duthie caught there, came forward off Kim Kinnear and left him. Now Kinnear with an opportunity. Evans can't complete the mark. Running on though, picks it up. With a scramble in the pocket and finally out of bounds. Or is it a bounce down first? I think the umpire's going to bounce it down. Central umpire adjudicating. 10 points the difference.
Kernahan and Harris. Harris took off early. Bradley dived. He's going to get a free kick. An amazing decision. Unbelievable. Grabbed hold of it, then dived, and he got it. So Bradley from half forward with a drop punt towards the goal square. Evans setting himself. Frost at the back. I wonder if that's the even upper.
I don't know about the even upper, but whoever said that umpires don't play a part in the game.
Unbelievable decision to Bradley, and just as bad to Kernahan. Kernahan to Ebert. Ebert from half forward into the goal square. Evans setting himself. I think he's got it.
Beautiful kick by Craig Ebert. Controlled to the goal square. And Evans again showing his strength. Takes the mark. 1 metre out from goal. And Port Adelaide, with this goal, 4 points behind. They're certainly not going to give up. Glenelg starting to look very tired.
4 goals to Evans. It's 11-4 to 11-8 into time on in the third quarter.
Well, Port Adelaide certainly have taken the concentration, I think, of Glenelg at the moment. A little bit of rough stuff that's occurring, or apparent rough stuff, as far as the Glenelg side are concerned. They're worrying about it. Their attack on the ball hasn't been quite as strong. And unless they can get their game back together, and that is their attack on the ball, of course, being the first and most important thing, then I think they're going to be in a little bit of strife.
Kernahan and Johnston into time on. Crowd roaring. Port within 4 points. They trail by 6 goals at one stage. Cunningham from the centre. Belton in front. Not paid. Barrett over the top. Kick by Barrett. Marshall has got a run, and so does Ebert. McInerney was going off McInerney, had to come back on in a hurry. Ebert to Cunningham. Cunningham's having a big turn for Port. Barrett got a bad bounce, so did Corns. Hubbard's kept his balance. Barrett, well done Corns. Handball by Seabohm to nobody in particular. Free kick against Port Adelaide's Hubbard's will go down the ground and go to Duthie. Simon's coming on, the pinch hitter for the Bays, and McInerney coming off as Duthie slams it towards Simons, but Eckerman will take it.
What a great game Ivan's played. Repeat myself, I've said it several times. Eckerman to half forward. Granger from the back, can't take the mark. Bradley can't. Duthie picks it up, gives it to Seabohm. Seabohm back towards the centre. Ebert goes through his legs. Tony Simons, the will of the West from Glenelg. Kicking short to McGuinness. Eckerman can't get the ball to bounce. McGuinness going back to his left foot. He's got the pace. He's got the kick. Has he got the accuracy? He has got the distance. He had the accuracy. Spoiled through for a rush behind. Glenelg 11-9. Port Adelaide 11-4.
Hughes to bang it back in. He's got Belton leading for him. Not a good kick, but it's going out towards Belton. Painter keeps the pressure on. Ball out of bounds, and it'll be a ball in. So since half-time, Port Adelaide have kicked 5 goals without a miss. In fact, they've kicked their last 7 goals without a miss, and the Bays have kicked 1-3. John Cahill much safer down in the box on the ground. I don't know if he'll come back after three-quarter time. I think he will. Kernahan, Bradley, Corns underneath it. He missed it. One of his few errors. Now Granger's got the run of it. Can't pick it up. Oh. Barrow will get a free kick.
He just kicked him over then, I feel.
See it in replay.
There's the replay. Just kicked him over. Corns Roberts to Simons.
Barrett's in trouble, Robert. They're calling for a stretcher. Barrett will come off as Simons goes short to Holst.
The umpire nearly, not the umpire, I'd say a doctor getting cleaned up. The umpires have got to blow the whistle to hold play, and they'll do so.
So Barrett will come off.
The umpire giving a free kick on that occasion. I don't know whether he paid the report, which is not entitled to kick players over under any circumstances. But nevertheless, that's not going to help. 11-9 Glenelg, Port Adelaide 11-4.
The final term for one of these sides in 1982. Bradley thumps it forward. Granger got rid of it in a hurry. Bradley missed it. McGuinness with a quick kick, didn't go far. Craig Ebert picked it up well. Johnston holding the ball. McGuinness, the Magarey medalist of 1982. 15th kick. High. Weston and Phillips. McDermott. Kernahan's got a chance. A behind. One kick the difference. 11-10 to 11-4. McDermott's got 2 points.
Danny Hughes. Port Adelaide full back to relieve from that behind. He chooses the member stand side. Phillips from behind. And then Weston from behind him took what looked to be a clean mark. Not paid. Peter Mark.
The word from the Glenelg bench is that Stephen Barrett has broken his leg, and that's certainly bad news for Stephen and the club.
Carey, Johnston, Sewer, Hoffner, Cunningham, Bradley and also Painter. Painter did very well. Marshall tacked it on cleverly to McGuinness. McGuinness on his wrong side, but he's strong with the right foot. That's a long kick. The bounce might have beaten Hughes. It's a goal. It's 12-10 to 11-4 and McGuinness has got 2 goals.
But Danny Hughes seemed to have that ball covered for the whole track, and then for some unknown reason at the last second lost his confidence on his attack to run right across the flight of the ball. I don't know whether he thought the goalpost was coming up, but he wasn't really too sure. But on replay there, you see the ball going through the goal. 12-10 now to 11-4. Back at the centre will be Peter Carey in opposition to Russell Johnston. Carey lays it on towards the attack side. Sewer coming in from the half-forward line. Tackled by Hubbard. Carey puts the ball down in front of him, then knocks it out to Duthie. Well done. Duthie gives it across to McGuinness. He can't take possession. Ball dragged underneath Ebert. That is Craig Ebert. The umpire will have a bounce down.
Some tired legs in this last quarter. McGuinness's run could be vital. Johnston got up early. Great tackle by Carey on Cunningham. Hulse with a high one. Weston, Phillips. Phillips has hardly taken a mark today. Most unusual. Robertson's handball not good. McDermott's just as bad. McGuinness's pace was too good for Hoffner on that occasion. Robertson got in there. Hoffner again. Lunnis to Weston. Left foot around his body. Kernahan trapped it beautifully and then missed.
He did that so well, Bruce. He didn't need to hurry. 12-11 to 11-4. Glenelg in front. What a beautiful take by the big fellow. Tacked the ball strongly and then panicked to kick for goal. Danny Hughes off the edge of his boot. Peter Hoffner underneath it and fisting it forward. Duthie out of bounds when he kicked it. And there'll be a throw in on the half-forward flank for Glenelg. And Peter Carey and Russell Johnston. Glenelg with a golden opportunity then to score a full points. They've wasted that. They're still at half-forward. They can move this in, then they'll have set up a good lead. Port certainly worked hard in the last quarter. Ebert quickly across to Hoffner. He can't get it. Gives it to Cunningham. Cunningham to the centre of the ground. Huppert's in front. Cords kicking off the ground. Painter, likewise, to his number 11 counterpart, Kinnear. He's tackled, can't get it away. In front position, McInerney. Handball out by Glenelg. And finally, we see them going into attack from McGuinness through Holst. Is that Holst at the
Painter, Robert?
Painter. I thought he looked a bit clean for David Holst. He's been sitting in the mud pack half the afternoon.
23 goals scored today. 18 have been at this northern end. the Lake end. 18 of the 23 have been scored down this end.
What about that psychological tactic at the start of the quarters with all the Port players jostling each other for all the Glenelg players to look at them?
Drop punt by McGuinness is a strong one. He's kicked his second goal. And the Bays are 13-11 to 11-4. McGuinness is second for the term and third for the match. Carey, Johnston, Port need one back and they need it quickly. Carey winning the ruck just for the moment. Seward's handball to McGuinness. McGuinness has had a sensational start to the last term. McInerney ridden into the ground. He'll get a free kick.
See that Eckerman's tight though. It's a little unfortunate. That was a well-made tackle by Eckerman. The pace of McInerney pulling him over as much as he was pushing in the back. Peter McInerney from half forward. His left foot slipping from under him. Giles, ball flies from his hands. Hoffner breaking clear. Eckerman, he falls over thinking he might get a free kick. And Hoffner flying into the pack. And an umpire will bounce the ball centre half forward, 60 to 70 metres from the Glenelg goal.
Johnston and Carey. Carey won it. Belton went without it. McInerney grabbed. Eckerman's kick smothered. Phillips. Lunnis and Robertson. Lunnis has got more toe. Out of bounds. 2-7 the difference. 6 minutes gone. The Bays in the box seat. They've led practically all day. Since quarter time. Kernahan and Harris. Weston over the top. Robertson tackled. McDermott with a quick one. Eckerman couldn't take that one. Just laid it down to Hughes. Hughes with a screw punt which gets some distance. Maynard and Williams. Williams claiming it and paid the mark, and he quickly plays it on to Johnston, and Johnston with a screw punt to centre half forward.
Huppets can't complete the mark. Bradley takes it off hands. Seabohm in the front position. Harris holding ground well. Corns coming back to him. And he's tackled. Ball being held to him. The umpire decides that he'll bounce the ball. Now Port Adelaide with an opportunity. They certainly need a couple of goals quickly.
Anthony Williams about to come on for Port Adelaide. He's loosening up. Carey won it again. Craig Ebert tried to take it. Carey with a left foot is going to go out on the full. Bradley will bring it back in for Port Adelaide. Port need a goal. Screw punt by Bradley. Granger and Corns. Corns fisted it away. Williams with a chance. That's a great kick. It's a goal to Williams. It's 12-4 to 13-11 and Williams has got his first.
Reminiscent of a goal he kicked last week for Port Adelaide. And he came around that pocket and snapped onto his right foot. He had Tim Evans on his own in the full forward area then as he came around. He chose to punch the ball in quickly with the kick, low and hard. And the goal, and Harris has come off the ground and Anthony Williams is back on for Port Adelaide. He started off the game and returns now.
1-7 the difference. Carey and Johnston. Johnston won it to Bradley. Bradley with a high one. Williams and Maynard. Maynard juggled it. I thought Williams might have touched it first, but it's going to Maynard. Maynard, who had a very, very good first half. Useful third quarter. 14th kick. Weston made it almost. Duthie went without it. Then to Carey. Left foot, a good kick because Seward should take it. Now he's got Lunnis. Seward missed it. Robertson got there. It'll be a ball in. Robertson will give away a free kick.
In fact, I think Ralph Seward might have had a little chip at him there when he went over the line. Reminiscent of something that David Granger did last time, and Ralph Seward holding the ball in the air, most unnecessary. It'd be better if he kept his mind on the job. Ralph Seward off the edge of his boot. Lunnis high. Johnston. Very good evasion. Kicking to the centre of the ground. Williams in front of Maynard. Takes the ball on his body. Well judged mark. Carey whacks him around the head. Allowed to play on. Corns in front. Granger bodies him off the ball. Farquhar to Corns and out of bounds. Yes, I think Graham Robertson was not impressed then with Ralph Seward having a little chip at him, and quite rightly so. That little bit of emotion. Robertson off and Harris comes straight back onto the ground. And there'll be a free kick here to Peter Carey for holding on against Anthony Williams. Peter Carey kicking with his left foot most of the day, gives it to Maynard. Maynard holds his leg up, Sewer in front, flies high. Giles spoils away. McDermott to Johnston, picked up by Marshall. He's tackled, ball flies out of his hands. Sewer handballing the Holst. He's been having a very quiet time since half-time. Painter keeping the ball in front of him. He's kept it under control, trying to knock it on. Phillips, Belton, Ebert. Russell Ebert from half-back. Short to Craig Ebert on the centre wing.
Tony Giles,
sorry. And a long clearing kick by Port Adelaide to the half-forward line and out of bounds. That was Craig Ebert that kicked the ball to the half-forward line.
89 to 76, 10 minutes gone. Robertson coming straight back on. That's an unusual move with Harris off.
Well, I think it was John Cale just questioning him about his emotional response to Ralph Sewer a moment ago.
And again a ball in. Farquhar's attack on Stephen Williams strong there. And so it'll be Johnston and Carey. Carey will probably go for another 5 minutes and then Kernahan will ruck for the rest of the game. Done a wonderful job, Carey. So's Johnston. He's been a big player for Port, even when they were being beaten. And again a ball in.
It's interesting to watch Paul Belton playing loose behind the pack. He's about 10 or 15 metres back. He's got a little bit closer now. Just giving himself the opportunity. If they get the ball back, great heap of players there, ready to create an opportunity. Any loose flying ball that comes out, he'll have it. He's in the area now. Sewer takes it though, gives it to Maynard. Glenelg finishing well at the moment as he goes forward, and Lunnis takes the mark. Very good kick and a well-judged mark. Lunnis lying on the ground, then hops up into full forward. Kernahan, Hoffner can't complete the mark. Hughes picks it up, falls from his hands. Likewise with Eckerman. Belton, Johnston, Hughes wide to the outer side. A lot of space out there. For size discretion, the better part of Valor. He stays back, allows Bradley to go under hot pursuit of McDermott. Bradley knocks it through his legs. Kinnear, he's tackled and then flies forward and gets a free kick. Kim Kinnear from centre wing, coming through to centre half forward with a high kick. Corns taking the mark in front of Anthony Williams. And a well-judged mark at that.
14th kick to Corns, short. Marshall made it. Corns, but a great player. 346th game today. Might go again next year. Cunningham. Fell over. Bradley. Belton. High drop punt. Evans and Frost. Frost did well. Seabohm. McFarlane. Maynard. Left footer. Strong towards the boundary line. Just bouncing in. Magnificent kick for a defender. And it'll be a ball in. Nearly 13 minutes gone. 13 points of difference. Port Adelaide need one, Robert.
They sure do. Russell Johnston and Peter Carey locking arms. Carey just pulls Johnston over and he gives the free kick to Carey. Of all the year we've watched Carey, he's an expert at it. How he gets away with it, I don't know, but he manages to do so. Just grabbed hold of Johnston's arm then, pulled him over. Now they're going to get 15-metre penalties, Port Adelaide, because they know that Carey's wanting the handball. Finally he does when the 15-metre penalty is given, and he gives it to Maynard. Maynard to half forward. But there he only finds Johnston. Johnston with a loose handball. McGuinness can't take possession. Kicked off the ground by Giles. Carey in the middle of it. Williams kicking off the ground. Bradley to Stephen Williams. He's pushed in the back. Frost in front of Evans, working the ball forward, and Evans gives the free kick away to David Frost.
Frost with a little one. Maynard couldn't make it. Ebert and Duthie, Ebert trapped it well. Handball to Anthony Williams. He's a left footer. Caught, holding the ball.
Not so sure that the player really tackled him. He propped, and I think the player flew straight past him. I didn't see him really stop him. I think he stopped himself. Yes, go on, Bruce.
Seabohm with a drop punt. Carey using his body. Thumped on by Giles. Phillips definitely has a shoulder problem. Didn't go for that freely. Craig Ebert puts the ball on the ground once. Towards full forward. Evans. Granger weighted down. Evans with a snap. A behind. an important behind, because Port Adelaide are within 12 points. It's 12-5 to 13-11, and today Evans had kicked 4-2.
It'll be David Frost to bring the ball back in. Port Adelaide have rested the ascendancy in the last couple of minutes just slightly. Glenelg at the start of the quarter going into attack fairly regularly, but now Glenelg, Port Adelaide rather, back into business as Glenelg come out to the outer side. Marshall from the back spoiling away and out of bounds.
Harris getting ready again, Robert. Maybe Anthony Williams will come back off. John Cahill with big problems.
Certainly been a very tight game. Kernahan gets the ball down. Finally, it's Huppert's kicking it. Kinnear, kicking it clear to Anthony Williams. Williams, Corn spoiling forward. Now it's Huppert's. He's got an opportunity to score. He can't get the ball high enough. Evans in the front. Frost spoiling away. Frost recovering best. Seabone off the ground to the half-back flank. Chris Duthie. Craig Ebert after him. Then slips over. Now Duthie with an opportunity. Painter. Beautiful half volley. Very efficient play, John Painter. Quick kick by McGuinness to half forward. And we see Phillips taking one of his traditional marks. Giles, Belton.
Belton to centre half forward. Farquhar spoiled away. Hoffner. Drop punt. Evans way out in front of Frost. Got a good bounce. Handball gives Huppert some hope. Well done, Frost. The 1-2 was on there. Huppert's fell on top of it. McFarlane. Evans has tackled good. Huppert's again falls on top of it, and it'll be a ball up with 16 minutes in. 89 to 77.
All due credit to Ray Huppert's then. Didn't concede for a second, and then John McFarlane did a slow motion, and Tim Evans bringing up the rear. He didn't recover very quickly to help Ray Huppert's. Finally caught him, and they've kept it in the area.
John Cahill giving Russell Johnston a rest. He's first for the day on the bench. I reckon he'll bring him back for the last desperate 5 to 10 minutes. Williams in the pocket. Strong tackle. Cunningham in the pocket. Left foot snap will go close. I think he's got it. Cunningham's goal. Port Adelaide within a kick. 13-5 to 13-11. What a goal. 2 goals to Cunningham.
Giles. Not Giles. Harris. Painter. Pushed in the back, and he'll get the free kick right in the mud patch.
Painter from the centre. 6 points the difference. Johnston's back in. 12th kick to Painter. Playing as a follower. Drop punt. Phillips the front spot. Belton. Eckerman. Off the side of the boot. Can Duthie get there, or will it be Hoffner? Duthie did that well. McInerney found some space. Now in trouble. Great tackle by Hoffner. Allowed to play on. Harris. Farquhar missed him. Cunningham. Or is it going to come back? After all that.
Jazz Foster bringing the ball back. Perhaps penalising the side, but at the time he adjudicated that Harris was under pressure. The relieving kick to Belton. Belton to Bradley. Bradley rides the bump well, then tosses the ball out when he's brought to the ground. Farquhar coming in strongly. Bradley pulled off the ball. Ebert picks it up and kicks it forward, and Corns takes the mark. Graham Corns from centre half-back. Got an opportunity to go strong to the outer side. If it goes over the top, they're in with a chance, and it does just that as McDermott takes the ball. All he's got to do is kick it straight. And he can't do that. It's a handy point, nevertheless. They're all going to be handy, I think, Bruce. The goals will be handier.
13-12 to 13-5. 32,300 odd here today, which is great because it rained for the first 2 or 3 hours of this afternoon anyway. Hughes with a long one. Phillips underneath it. Kernahan from the back. Harris fell over to Giles. A high left footer. Marshall should take it easily, and he does. Now he's got Holst short of half forward, and that's the way he's going now. Marshall to Holst. Phillips coming in. Weston there as well. Phillips fell over. It sits for Weston. Normally a good kick. He couldn't do what Cunningham did at the other end, and Port Adelaide will bring it back in after 19 minutes of this preliminary final.
David Marshall drops back onto that centre wing well when Glenelg go into attack. David Marshall getting back into the defensive action at the centre wing.
It's a free kick, Robert.
Yes, it'll be a free kick for pushing the back. David Marshall getting back on that wing, picking up a few stray kicks that are coming out by the Port Adelaide defence. Paul Weston with an opportunity. He almost repeated the dose. He has. Out of bounds on the full, so there's no further score added to the board after 2 attempts there by Paul Weston. It'll be Ivan Eckerman to relief for Port Adelaide.
So for the 3rd consecutive week, we've had a great game at Football Park on a Sunday here in South Australia. Kernahan at the back, thumped by Marshall. McGuinness, little right footer, trapped by Harris. Harris has handballed to Bradley. Bradley to Belton. It sits for him, and now Port Adelaide go forward. Belton drew the player to him to Cunningham. Cunningham with a long one. Evans getting set from the back. It didn't get to him. Evans is in the goal square if Hubbard's can get it over to him. Corns has tackled good. Maynard to Frost. Frost to Marshall.
That's a beautiful kick by David Frost on his wrong foot.
Marshall goes long to Painter. Painter short into the centre to McGuinness, and he makes it. Play on. Holding the ball. It'll go back to Bradley. So that's a bad miss by the Bays. Bradley's got to come back over his mark. Nearly 21 minutes gone. 7 points the difference. And Bradley puts Port Adelaide into attack.
It's not a good kick, dropping short. They scramble at centre-half forward. Everyone rather desperate now, realising what's on the end of it, of course. For the chance at the grand final flag next week. Tapped away by Johnston. Stephen Williams trying to barge through the pack. Can't do so. Another bounce down. Very important who gets this ball away. Ball tapped to Ebert. Once again, there'll be a stalemate. Port Adelaide player at half-back there holding his elbow. I think it's Russell Johnston, or is it Ben Harris?
Ben Harris,
Ben Harris been hitting the elbow by the looks of things. Marshall kicking it towards that player I just mentioned. And Harris makes a very good save at half-back on the half volley. And once again, Marshall positioning himself on the rebound kick. He reads that rebound kick from defence exceptionally well.
Kick number 18 to Marshall.
David Marshall. Wide. Weston leading. But Phillips. What a magnificent mark he is. A magnificent player he is. Both feet. He's got a bit of a tendency to his left hand, even though he's a right foot kick, and that kick not good. Marshall again intercepting. Putting himself a kick away, but this time he can't get it, and Corns. Granger coming in. He's just to know just which part of the ball he saw on that occasion. Graham Corns.
Kick number 15 to Corns, and 15 metres against Granger. 22 and a half minutes gone. It won't be a lot of time on. Only 4 goals scored. Corns short. Kernahan leading. Farquhar. Kernahan on hands and knees. Farquhar again. Free kick to Farquhar.
Kernahan's looking a little bit tired, and he shouldn't be. Spent most of the day at full forward. Carey's done most of the work for him. Making a couple of ball handling errors at the moment.
Screw punt by Farquhar. Prodigious kick. Hoffner underneath it. Eckerman and Weston. Eckerman thumps it towards the boundary line. Hughes. Long handball to Phillips. Simons tries to run him down. Phillips around his body to Harris. Harris trapped it well. That's his second good grab in a matter of minutes. Belton with a drop punt. Granger getting set. Farquhar takes the mark.
Michael Farquhar played centre-half back for Glenelg last year. He's only played the last minor round game for Glenelg and the finals games. And he is a very, very good player. 70-metre kick. The length of the square plus a bit more. Ebert. And Port Adelaide relieve again through Tony Giles.
Granger and Corns. Granger got one in the back there, not paid. Maynard. He's only got to chip it over the top. Painter running. Granger unlucky there. Hasn't been able to get a kick in this last quarter, and that might be costly for Port Adelaide. A splendid kick by Painter to Weston. The Magpies need a goal desperately. We're almost into time on. Weston with a floater. Lunnis Robertson. Free kick will go to Robertson. So Port Adelaide, who have won 3 premierships straight, 4 of the last 5, a record 22, need 2 goals to get into next week's grand final.
Robertson to centre wing. But it's Danny Hughes' free kick. Peter Carey interfered with Danny Hughes. Graham Robertson thought it was his free kick. Perhaps there was 2 free kicks. Didn't seem to matter too much who took the kick. Maybe the umpire's interested in whose statistics are affected. Danny Hughes might have needed the statistic more than Robertson. Hughes to centre wing. Off hands to Hoffner. Hoffner to half forward. Close to the boundary line and out of bounds. Just ahead of Peter Maynard.
Any time on, Robert?
Yes, I think that the Bays could be fronting up for the grand final next Saturday at the moment.
Evans to centre half forward, Granger to full forward.
The Granger's fallen right out of the game. Tony Simons down from half forward and kicking it back to half forward. Weston in front, Phillips from behind. Long handball. This is a sortie they've got to score from. As Giles gets it forward only as far as McFarlane, and he's completed the play. It's a beautiful play by the experienced McFarlane. But once again, Eckerman. What a wonderful game he's played.
Marshall could have made more use of that. He had 3 or 4 players.
Bit tired, I think, Bruce. He couldn't get the kick up into the air. He would have liked to have. Eckerman evading and going wide to Evans. Corns from behind. Evans lays it back towards the centre of the ground. Picked up by Kernahan to centre half forward. Hoffner gets a fortunate flick off the pack. McInerney after him. The ball falling short, and Port Adelaide have the ball at the centre.
Craig Ebert, 7 points the difference. Granger from the back, Frost, Corns, smothered by Belton. Seabowman again a ball up. So since 3/4 time, Port have kicked 2-1. The Bays have kicked 2-3. Over 26 minutes gone. Kernahan, McGuinness and Bradley. McGuinness kept his balance. Simons fell over to McGuinness. Great kick by McGuinness around his body. Hoffner fell over. Painter kept his balance. Did it very, very well. And he'll get a free kick.
And he handballed it. He was going to get up and go after it too. Glenelg are certainly hanging on. Tony Simons giving the ball back. Would have been handy to give it back to him on the full. The runner again taking the opportunity to come out with a message from John Halbert at that stage, telling him where to kick it. I'd say he'll certainly kick it to the pocket. I can't see it going into the centre of the ground. Kicks it towards Peter Carey. Hughes from the back. Ball flies off to Phillips. Phillips to the outer side of the ground. And once again, Marshall on the relieving kick. Must have been touch play on. He can only get it as far as Cunningham. Cunningham towards Evans. Corns from the back, and he interferes. One hand, and the umpire allows it to play on. And Port Adelaide through Bradley now. Long and in towards Frost. Granger pushes Frost down the road, then picks the ball up and kicks it high into the air. McFarlane from behind. And Harris marks the ball. Johnston marks the ball and converts. 1 point the difference.
14-5 to 13-12. A point the difference. Almost 28 minutes gone. Harris with a thump. Cunningham with a kick. Maynard, McGuinness and also Williams. Maynard made it. There'll be extra time if there's a draw. Maynard round his body. Painter went without it. Hoffner fell over. Hoffner still got it. Ebert with a short one. An important mark coming up. Maynard couldn't take it. McDermott fell over. Kernahan. Little left footer smothered. Williams fell over. They're exhausted and it'll be a ball up.
Stephen Kernahan again then making error. Not prepared to give the handball on the up. He's under the panic stations. He had his player in front of him. And he tried to do it himself and kicked it into the man. And as a result, the ball's still here. Kernahan in front. Taps it towards Simons. Ebert intercepts. Kicks it in towards half forward. Farquhar spoiling it away. Huppets picks up the ball towards Granger. And Granger's down. Frost got the ball. Evans coming across quickly. Frost can cover the distance to Holster in with a chance, and he can. It's a prodigious right foot kick into the outer side of the ground. Holst with an opportunity. He's pushed in the back, and the umpire doesn't play a free. Back towards Huppets. He's in everything. Huppets short. Belton gives it across to Ebert. McInerney tackles him. Well done, Peter McInerney, and painted a half forward.
Weston underneath it with Phillips. Carey, with the Bay score here, they'll win it. Carey thumps it to the boundary line, and it'll be a ball in. So the two sides that have already had the draw in the competition this year are a point the difference. It's 14-5 to 13-12. 29.5 minutes gone. Is at the end of 3 premierships in a row for John Cahill and Port Adelaide. Phillips over the top. Cunningham. Weston. Still with it is Weston. And the siren is sounded. And the Bays are in the grand final. They've won by a point. 13-12-90. Port Adelaide 14-5-89. And Glenelg have beaten Port for the first time in a final series for 8 years at Football Park.
John Halbert, Dare State, and then Stephen Highwood after the game. The Bays winning, what a magnificent win. 90-89, and Peter Carey, what a game he played. He couldn't kick the ball when he took his first mark in the first quarter, but he just kept going all day, and with the other Glenelg players, they just won a marvellous game. Full credit to Port Adelaide, 38 points behind at one stage in the second quarter. So the Bays 13-12 to 14-5 after leading 10-6 to 6-4. Kernahan got 4, McGuinness 3, Weston 2, McInerney 2. Evans got 4 for Port Adelaide, Huppert's got 3 and Cunningham 2. The attendance 32,339. We do believe David Granger was reported for an incident with Graham Corns in the second quarter, and we believe that Stephen Barrett has a broken leg. In the reserves today, Sturt 11-15, 81 defeated West Adelaide 9-7, 61. So next week it's Glenelg against Sturt in the reserves, Norwood against Glenelg in the league game. That game today is the closest preliminary final ever. The previous closest one was in 1963. That's very good English, the previous closest one. North Adelaide against Torrens, North winning by 2 points. They lost to Port in the final. There has never been a draw, but we nearly had one today. 11:30, the reserves grand final next Saturday here on Channel 7, and 6:30 the big replay of the grand final, Norwood against Glenelg. So after a long season, there's only 6 days to go. I'll see you on Saturday.